Guess who's back, you guys? That's right, Gianni DeCenzo back. Let's do it. Hope you guys are ready.
Let's go.
Boom.
Two dojos are at the center of this controversy.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Behind the Lens. We have none other than Gianni DeCenzo back, who plays Dimitri on the shit show Cobra Kai. Welcome back, brother. How you been, man?
I've been good. It's been amazing seeing the show like finally out. People finally get to see season 3. I'm sorry it took so long, but I hope it was worth the wait.
Oh, I don't think there's one person out there that is saying that it wasn't worth the wait. It was a long wait, but trust me, you guys delivered, man. And you know, when I found out that you were coming back, all I kept thinking about is when that phrase you said on the last interview, when I asked you, what should we expect? And you said, oh my God. Yeah. That's exactly what happened, man. Yeah. I was like, what is happening? Oh my God. Can you?
I love how I love how each season is like, you have season 1, it's like, damn, that's crazy. Season 2, damn, season 3, bam, we're breaking into people's houses. It's an all-out battle. It's always topping itself.
Before we get into like the episodes and the scenes and stuff that I want to talk about, just tell me now that it's been released, what has it been like? What has this ride been like with Cobra Kai season 3 now released?
It's been honestly amazing. I think especially for Dimitri, there's been a lot more support because obviously we're kind of starting to see a more badass version of him. And then obviously we have, by the end of season 3, Dimitri and Eli kind of become binary brothers again.
I know.
So it's been great.
Oh man. So I will say it was interesting because I think we did that interview maybe like a week before. And I remember seeing the comments, you know, it's got, like you said, kind of mixed reviews, but after season 3, it's like, go Gianni, go Dimitri. And I'm like, wow, that turned really fast, you know?
It did, yeah. There was a lot more support. It was like, all right, cool. Maybe they like the nerd after all.
Yeah, no, hey man, you did an awesome job. So I got a couple of questions about some of the scenes, and there was one scene that I know, I'll kick it off with this scene, and then we'll kind of work through them.
Okay.
The scene that you were in that laser tag and you get your arm broken, I'm gonna tell you something that my wife and I talked about this because it was kind of strange to see it. One, because you know, to watch your character go through that, but also it's like, dang, that Johnny's like tearing it up because it seems so real. Like, can you just kind of tell me like what that scene was like?
That was an intense scene, and I still have people commenting, asking like, did they actually break your arm for that scene? Just like to disclose, no, my arms, they were not broken. I did have to put on several fake casts throughout the whole thing. I actually had to go to a doctor and have 3 sets of casts made and taken off all in one day. And then, you know, they obviously had to write all over it. But it was one of the most intense scenes I think I've done.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it's kind of hard to prep for something like that where, you know, you're supposed to scream in agonizing pain, because I don't know how to rehearse that without getting the cops called on me. So we actually had to end up going, my mom, I was 17 at the time, so my mom was still in Georgia with me, and I go in the closet and I just like practice screaming, just like bloody murder with my arm being broken. It's an intense scene.
It was like a guttural scream. I'm telling you, man, I watched that and I had so mixed feelings. One, like I said, and my wife said the same thing because we talked about it. It was like one of the most intense scenes, but it seemed so real. And man, I think I I think I had talked to your dad after that and just tell him, hey, congratulations. And he said the same thing about that scene, that scene was like really hard. Shout out to your dad, by the way, Vincent.
Yeah. Shout out to him. Yeah, he said like he couldn't decide whether it was just because I was his son or because it was good acting. Yeah. But like he was saying he teared up, which honestly means a lot because he's like my inspiration for acting. He teaches me, he and my mom teach me like everything I know about acting. So
no, man, you did an amazing job. It was one of those moments where it was like gut wrenching to watch. And that's like the perfect sign that you did an amazing job when you get a reaction like that. So, oh man, that was intense, dude. That was just like the tip of the iceberg of the whole season too. It was just kind of crazy. But now one of the scenes that I wanted to ask you about, and I think it got shown maybe 2 days after. I think it was 2 days after we did the first interview. Okay. Was that infamous kiss with Yasmin? Yeah. Tell me about that. And people were like, "Why didn't you ask him?" I said, "We did that interview like 2 days before they released it."
Yeah, we're ahead of the game. We can't help it. Yeah, I'm not allowed to say anything.
I know. I would have asked about the whole interview. Would have probably been about that kiss, man. So, what? Kind of walk me through that scene and how did it go?
It was awkward. Yeah, I'm just gonna say that right out because the least romantic place you could possibly make out with someone is on a set with 30 people, a camera in your face. You got the boom guy just like listening in on the whole thing. So yeah, luckily Annalisa, who plays Yasmin, she's an absolute professional. But that was my first on set sort of kiss. Nice. And I was just kind of nervous about it because my co-stars, they had gotten to do that a couple times. I was just like, okay, how do I not make this awkward? Because like there's no romance in it. You gotta add that in yourself because it's awkward.
Oh man, when I saw that scene, all I could think was, I think I even said it on the video reaction video was, "My boy Dimitri."
Yeah, you got it. Awesome. It's cool. It's what? Oh, sorry, what?
No. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's cool because like in the very first season, you see at the cafeteria we got Miguel, Dimitri, and Eli sitting across from the hot girls, and like we actually kind of pair off with them. Yeah. Like perfectly, it was just kind of crazy. Miguel gets Sam, Eli gets Moon, and I get Yasmin. It's like
that is interesting, man.
It's a little bit of a foreshadow, you never thought. Yeah.
That is, that's a huge Easter egg. I never thought about
that. It was destined to be. I always knew in my heart that Dimitri would get the girl.
Yeah, like, we're all rooting for you to get the girl at some point, man.
Thank you.
When you read that script, were you like, hell yeah?
I was like, oh God, okay. Because prior to filming anything, the big three, John, Josh, and Hayden, the creators of the show, they had people like come in just to kind of break down what's going to be happening. And they're like, okay, so you're going to be making out with Yasmin. I'm like, Jesus, okay.
You're all what?
Here we go. All right. And it's funny because like I said, I was still 17 at the time, but I turned 18 halfway through the show. Like the very next day I turned 18, they're like, okay, make out scene. Just like,
you are officially legal now. Let's do this.
Yeah. Like you're legal. It doesn't matter. We can keep you as long as we want. Time to go.
Oh man, that is awesome, man. Well, it kind of leads me back to a scene too that had the character Yasmin in there is where you bring your science project, right? Yeah. This is like, to me, this was like the epitome. I think we had talked about something had happened prior to you guys getting into it out on the field. And then when I saw this, I was like, okay, this is the first thought I had when I saw that is Legos are my enemy, man. We have our little one. I step on Legos at least probably once a day. And that was my first thought. Can you kind of walk us through that scene? Like, how did that whole scene come together? How long were you on set to shoot that scene? And who actually broke that thing with what was a soccer ball? I think
soccer ball.
I think it was a soccer ball, right?
Yeah. So first of all, I'm just going to say Legos are heavy. They're very, very heavy. And I did about several takes of me just carrying that in. I don't have the biggest muscles in the world. My arms, as you can see, they're kind of thin. So I definitely got my workout in that day. And it's
That's
cool
awesome.
because actually I have one line where it's like to Yasmin, I'm like, oh, you'll never have to work for an A again. Like you'll never have to pay for an A again in your life. That was my ad lib. And
Yeah.
it's just kind of cool getting to see that be in there because I thought, hey, that works perfectly. He's like, I'll take care of you in the best way that Dimitri can, not with bronze, but with, I'll get you A's.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's awesome.
But when it came down to actually breaking it, I think it was like, I want to say it was one of our head ADs, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
He took it and he was just like, bam, smashed it up. And they actually designed the Legos in a specific way where it would like perfectly break,
Yeah.
because they wanted it to shatter in just the right way. And it was kind of awkward because we had to do a few takes. So every time we smashed it, we're like, okay, hold for Legos. And they kind of have to like reassemble the whole thing. Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask. I'm like, they had to have done a couple of takes. Can you imagine putting all those Legos back? Oh my God. I built stuff for our little son, Maddie. And when he breaks it apart, you spend like an hour putting that thing together and then he breaks it apart. I'm like, that's it. I give up.
Oh no, I know your pain. I built the Lego Death Star twice.
Nice. That's awesome.
Not by choice, but because the first time it didn't end so well.
Yeah.
I lost many pieces.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, that was a fun scene.
Well, what about when you guys there was something interesting that also happened in that scene. Once that breaks, you guys have this confrontation now between Dimitri and Eli now. And so there was something interesting that I saw that happen in there where there's like the tension, but then you also kind of see Eli, like a little flash of Eli come back when that counselor comes in and he's kind of just puts his head. Oh man, that would have made me so mad. How did that scene come about? How did you guys, because there's a lot of you guys in that scene, how did you guys work through that shot?
So usually like before we film something, we'll do a couple of rehearsals of it, just like trying to get down the blocking and stuff like that. And then we just kind of go for it. Like Hawk, he's an absolute professional. Jacob, who plays Hawk, and it's funny though. One time when we were doing it, the camera was on me, right? And we're having like this serious face-to-face moment. Like Dimitri's got his, muscles out. He's flexing, he's not scared of Hawk anymore. And during one of the takes, of course, Jacob, the prankster he is, makes just the weirdest face ever. And despite trying as hard as I can, I end up breaking. So halfway through, I'm like, yeah, you want to fight? It's just kind of awkward.
Oh man, that's just that's the stuff I love to hear about. It's like you guys have a lot of fun on set, and everyone that I've had the opportunity to talk to says the same thing. There's so much fun. You guys have fun on it's long days, right? You guys put in a lot of time, but there's so much fun that goes on set. So that's so
we're
cool
just like one big family making a show.
I heard something. I think Jacob was on Cobra Kai Companion. And I watched an interview maybe last week or something, but he mentioned something about that. You got some torque, man, like that you guys, when you guys are, fighting and all that, he said, you got some serious torque. He's like, it might not look like it, but Johnny has some serious torque in, I guess, your pools or something. I don't know. I was like, what?
I think okay. So I have good kicks. That's like the best thing
He did say that too, actually.
Yeah. I have long legs. And so when they come around, they really just like whip, you know? So I use my height to my advantage. I use what I have.
That's what you got to do, man.
Yeah.
So let me talk a little bit about some other scenes that I had some questions about. The scene that Bert gets tossed through the window. I mean, that was a stunner for me. How did that scene come to?
So we have a stunt person, obviously, for Bert. And it was kind of crazy. We got to be there on set and watch it happen, but it's one of those things where it's like, it's one take. You can't really do it again. Yeah. So we have the stunt person and she's like on this platform and she just like burst through it just like crazy. And it's this kind of, I don't know what you call it, like this candy glass sort of thing. It's like the easy breakaway stuff. Yeah. And it's just kind of crazy watching that happen, because literally you just see someone fly through a window, and there's like a little like platform here, right, where the sink is and everything.
Yeah.
And you can't really hit that on the way down, because that'll mess you up.
Yeah.
So she had to like jump through it and perfectly land on the mats on the ground, and we only had one take to do it. So
man,
it was intense.
And that's why I was curious, because one, however they did that scene was just amazing, and you could see it literally is a tiny window. I don't even know how they did that.
Yeah.
So I was curious, like, when you guys get to watch this stuff, like, what was the cast reaction to, like, what just happened right now?
I mean, it's honestly the same reaction as watching an actual person get thrown through a window. It's just kind of like, okay, this happened, and there we go. And then, Owen, who plays Bert, he like has to go in there, and they replace it with this kind of rubber-looking stuff. It's like rubber, but it looks like pieces of broken glass. And we also have the same thing when Hawk throws Rickenberger through the glass dining table, which actually, that was a crazy one to see too. They had to have little, I don't know what you call it, little explosive stuff that kind of shatters.
Squibs, I think they're called.
Yeah, something. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Like they shatter the glass right before someone goes through it, so it breaks, easily. But the thing that held the glass, that was just real. So he like actually hit that too. And he obviously had stuff on his back and stuff like that to take care of it. But that was also kind of a one take thing. Yeah. And everyone had to make sure they were in the right place. Jacob, he had to make sure he threw him correctly. I had to be out of the way there. It's just crazy to see what stunts can do.
Yeah. And, you kind of segued perfect into that fight scene in the house. And so I did see kind of the same type of in and outs with the stunt doubles and that kind of seamless shot. So now you got your chance to be a part of it, right? Because you were part of season 2. When I saw that, I was like, oh, hell yeah, this is awesome.
I finally got it.
You finally got your chance, man. Tell me about like how long did you guys shoot that? What was the experience like?
It was a challenge, because it's like season 2, the final fight scene. It's one continuous shot. Yeah. And, if one thing is kind of messed up, we have to start the whole process over again. And I'm just kind of like trying my best to get what I need to do. I try to like throw the punches correctly, because, we rehearse it a few times beforehand, but it's a lot to kind of keep up with, especially if, you haven't really done too many fight scenes in the past, which I haven't been able to, but now I'm starting to kind of get to do a little bit more.
Yeah, it's awesome. I was so excited for you, man, because I was thinking that, like, here is Dimitri's moment. You get to be a part.
Yeah. He's not like the perfect karate fighter, but you can see he's got bits and pieces. So
But hey, look at this is what I see the parallel with Dimitri and Daniel, because Daniel was never like the perfect fighter either, but he was just talented, and he kind of held his own. So like I see very similar kind of paths between these two characters. So hey, man.
Yeah, he's like Daniel with more sarcasm.
Yeah, with more wit and sarcasm. I love it.
More wit and sarcasm and a more pessimistic view on things. But okay, one thing that's really crazy about that fight scene though. So after the hallway scene, like after I use Bert to kick someone away, I actually had to move the chair that I end up leaning on, like as the camera guy sort of pans around, because otherwise he'd topple over that. So as soon as it cuts away from me, I'm taking that chair and like following him all around the back of the couch, and then I have to put it back perfectly and then lay low. Because I can't be seen after the fact, because otherwise it's just like I'm just standing there.
How long did you guys prepare for this? Because it makes sense. Like you guys, the actors have to actually be involved with moving the set, because it's so seamless that people are coming in and out. How long did you guys prepare for it, and how long did that shot actually take? Was it an all-day thing? Like,
it took, I think, a good portion of the day to do, because like I said, the one small thing and you have to start everything over again. And then obviously after we get the shot that we like, we kind of want to do another one to just for safety get, you know, something else in case the one that we liked doesn't end up working out too well. So we'll rehearse, like, obviously right before we do things, we'll do a couple of dry rehearsals. Well, actually, so we did rehearsals, but we would record them, you know, just in case it ended up working out, because it's an intense scene. So if we can get one down, we're going to get one down. But then we like kind of genuinely win for it. And then kind of like the mall fight, we came into the mall a few days prior just to kind of rehearse it. So we did a little bit of that on set. Luckily, the set is, you know, in our warehouse, our kind of soundstage area. So we were able to work on it freely.
Yeah. You know, I have a question about that too, because I watched something recently with Mary, and she mentioned that mall scene that you guys were in there practicing, and there were still people, like you guys hadn't closed it off yet. And there was people just kind of like, what the hell is going on here?
They didn't really know what was going on. And some people were filming. We were like, hey, can you not film? And they were like, no, I want to film. I was like, okay.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Cool. I mean, we're
awesome.
Only badasses that do karate, but sure.
Yeah, I'm sure, man. If I was in the mall and I see these things going out, I'm like, where's my phone at?
I mean, you can't not. It's like, what the hell? We have a whole bunch of mats out. We're like on harnesses. Yeah, it was weird.
That's awesome, man. So let's talk about now, like you guys are going through these scenes, right? And I got really emotional, man, because I'm trying not to share about emotion because I'm gonna probably break down and cry.
No, you can cry.
I know, right? I have my tissue sitting like right here, right off screen.
Let it go.
The moment that we see they have you in this arm lock with your arm back. Oh man, like my heart was pounding. I was like, don't do it again. And we see this shot of Jacob, you know, Hawk, and he's like debating what to do next. And then we see him make a choice. What was that scene like, man? Or what was it like? You when you read this and you knew that this was going to happen, right? Like, what were your thoughts on it when you read the script that moment was coming?
I honestly feel like it kind of makes sense that it would happen, because we see throughout this season, he's kind of got a lot of, you know, pent up feelings about what's going down. He's not super comfortable with things anymore. Like when he broke my arm, he didn't really want to do it. You could see it in his face, but like he obviously was being egged on by everyone. And what is he going to do? You know, say,
peer pressure.
They're going to kick him out. Yeah. He's like, it's peer pressure. And so, yeah, it totally makes sense that he would kind of be fed up with all of this. You know, he's kind of looking around saying like, guys, we're literally breaking into people's houses and beating up everyone. We can't do this anymore. So yeah, it makes sense that he would like turn sides. And just the fight scene that we got to do as binary brothers once again was awesome. Like that big like final double kick into the table.
Oh man, it was so great. And I agree with you 100%. There was like so many moments, I call them Eli moments, where you can see that there's that hesitation, or that there's you know, like when him and Miguel are talking in the cafeteria, and you know, Kyler, I haven't brought that one up, Kyler drawing on your arm, you know, which was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie, that was actually pretty
okay. All right, well,
I'm sorry, man, that was really funny. But
you try walking around big dick on your arm all day. See how you like it.
I know, right? I'm sure you're walking around set and everyone's like, don't look at it. Don't look at it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Also, they take like plaster strips and actually plaster my arm in there. So it's not a slip on and off thing. But that's on there. So
can you imagine when you go back to the doctor that night and he's like, tough day at work? Like, what happened today? Or
we don't need to talk about it. Sure.
But there was all these moments where you could totally see, and I know I personally was like hoping, gosh, I hope he finds his way back. And so I think it's one of the most amazing moments, man, in the entire series, is that turn to like come back and help his friend Dimitri, man. So amazing moment. So I have a couple of more scenes that I want to talk about, but before we get into that, because one of them has to do with the very final scene. If you're cool with it, man, I would like to ask you some questions. These are actually from the fans. So I put polls everywhere, man. And so I got a couple of questions. and so we'll kind of talk about them. So
I'm scared, but okay.
I know, right? Okay, all right. So you know what? I'm gonna throw this out there, man. I'm gonna throw this out there with you. So I didn't put it in my notes because I was like, I don't know if I want to ask that question. It's kind of a little strange, but I had so many people. I am not kidding. It was the number one question asked. I feel ashamed even asking you right now about this, but I think it would be kind of funny.
I'm scared.
I know, right?
I can leave the Zoom right now.
You're like, I'm going to end this meeting right now.
I can do it. Okay.
A lot of people were asking whether or not the kiss that you and the character Yasmin had on screen, was there any tongue involved? That was the question, man. I didn't create it, but I was like, I don't think I feel comfortable asking, and here I am asking that question.
No, it's perfectly normal. Yeah, no, there was just an aggressive amount of tongue. No, we don't.
They're like, yeah, Dimitri.
Yeah. No. So we actually did several shots that were more aggressive than the final cut that made it into the show, but they kind of went for a more PG version. There was never an aggressive amount of tongue. Sorry to disappoint everyone. Just a lot of just like moving around, and you know, Dimitri. I like to assume that was his first kiss, so I'm just kind of going with it, like. Just kind of him standing there, not really knowing what to do. He's got his arm in a sling. He's just like, okay, this is happening. Yeah. This is cool. But yeah, no tongue.
By the way, the line you spit out after when she's like gets flustered and walks away, you call her Cruella.
I wanted to be able to like, I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever, Cruella, I'm 101% in love. I wanted to walk away and be like, Cruella de Vil, Cruella, but unfortunately, you know, that's copyright, so
oh my God,
add that in.
I know. I love that moment where you look at, you know, Miguel and Sam, and you're like, I'm so in love.
Oh, I just remembered. Okay, so we did a couple of takes. We actually did a pretty good amount of takes on just that one makeout scene. And we did one where we didn't realize it was a rehearsal. We thought we were filming it, so we went all out. And then as soon as it was over, they're like, all right, cut rehearsal, let's go. And we're like, that wasn't real.
You're like, wait, what?
That wasn't okay. Practice. Cool. So
that's dedication to your art. That's what I call that, man.
Yeah. Thank you. Just don't show my girlfriend.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay, I got a question from Brian Berghoff, and he says, "Now that Cobra Kai is so well known around the world, do you get recognized often by fans more now rather than when it was on YouTube?"
I would say, yeah, it's gone up a pretty good amount. Obviously, due to COVID, I haven't been going out as much. And when I do, I have my mask on and then I have like a pair of glasses. But it's crazy because when I do get noticed with it, I'm like, how the hell could you possibly recognize me? I assume it's the voice. Yeah. I have a weird voice. I don't know. But yeah, no, it's gone up a little bit. Yeah. And the support on social media and stuff like that has just been absolutely amazing. Everyone's awesome. They make some pretty cool edits.
Yeah, man. I've actually been watching a lot of, you know, social media and just seeing the amount of love towards you and your character, especially after the season 3 release. It's just been so cool, man. So I'm glad that one, your character Dimitri is getting love, but that you're getting love too, because it's like you portrayed him in season 3, did an amazing job. Like everybody was rooting for him, and dude, you just crushed it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I try.
Yeah, no, you did awesome.
I don't want to lose my job, so.
Yeah. Another one that we had is from BZ Baseball. He says, "What was your favorite moment filming in season 3?"
I would say that my favorite moment would probably have to be the final fight scene, just because like that was my first like big opportunity to do this amazing fight stuff that like everyone's gotten to do in the past, and it's just kind of cool watching the whole thing happen. Obviously, with like breaking through the window and breaking into the table, there was a lot of breaking that day. Almost breaking of my arm. It was just a lot of fun to get to be a part of it, you know.
Yep.
Pretty badass.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, thank you.
I have a couple more questions. This one's from Augustine Sang. Says, "What's your favorite part of playing Dimitri?"
I think the coolest thing about getting to play like a long running character on a show like this is like you get to kind of discover new things about your character.
Yeah.
Obviously they'll write new stuff and you're like, oh, okay, I kind of had a different idea of how like the character would do something or like his past. So awesome, I'll just apply that. But yeah, no, the character just kind of grows into its own person. It's not really you putting it on anymore. It's just, nope, this is just him. He's kind of got his standard way of thinking and you just kind of slip in and out of that kind of mind.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be really cool because we still have to like find stuff out about his past and obviously his home life. He still has yet to have a last name. It's kind of like a mystery.
You know what? I actually saw a question like that too. I just kind of skipped it, but I did see a question asking, are we ever going to find out Dimitri's last name? And it never dawned on me. It didn't dawn on me until I saw that question. I was like,
you find out his last name's Lawrence.
Yeah.
He's a secret, like, long lost child.
Oh my gosh. That would be awesome.
I know, right? There was a joke going around that Jacob said, like, okay, well, his name's kind of Italian, so maybe your last name's Vespucci. So in my mind, I've kind of accepted it. My name's Dimitri Vespucci. I don't know. It's an intense name, but I'm Italian, so it makes sense.
I love it, man. That is so awesome. I have this his name's Rashid. He reached out to me and he kind of mentioned, this is what I was kind of doing polls. He said that his nephew named Yassine, he got this video from you, Mary, Owen, and Nate, and about I guess you're pushing Mary around in a cart and just kind of just giving them a shout out. Do you remember that video?
Hi, Yassine. It's Nate and Owen coming from Atlanta.
Thank you so much for being a fan of Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
What do we have here?
Oh.
No.
Everybody get him.
I did, yeah, that was like season 2. We just got done watching it in theaters. I think that's right. Yeah, that timeline makes sense. And yeah, they were just like, hey, we should do this shout out. And we're like, okay, yeah, sure. Here's a shopping cart. Mary, get in, I'll push you. And then that was just kind of it, you know?
Yeah.
I just like doing, whenever I do a shout out, like, I want to try to make each one different. I don't want to just do like a standard, hey, thank you so much for watching, stuff like that. I want to kind of make it interesting and unique to each person. But
no, it's so amazing because I was actually blown away that, you know, he sent me the video and I was like, this is so cool. It almost summed up how everybody in Cobra Kai, I mean, everybody does these amazing things, engage with the fandom. Like, I have never seen anything like this. And you guys just do an amazing job to connect with people. So when I saw this, man, it warmed my heart to see you guys do something and just kind of, you know, show some love to Yassine. And, you know, I know I think he did send a video. They sent me another video back kind of saying thank you to you guys. And so.
Hi, I'm Yassine from Manchester. I'm a big fan of you, Owen and Nate. And thank you for sending me the video. Tell Mary and Jenny that thank you for coming in the video. I can't wait to see you in season 3 of Cobra Kai.
Okay. And what's the final word you're going to finish this off with?
Cobra Kai never dies.
I just think it's awesome that you guys do stuff like this.
yeah, no, I try like just answering as many, you know, DM requests as I can, as many comments as I can. Obviously I can't answer every single one of them, but like if someone's just like, hey, can you do this thing for my sister or something like that, I'll just be like, hey, what's up, happy birthday, you know, something like that, just to kind of give back. Because honestly, we wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for the fan base. So I don't understand like not treating them with respect. They obviously, you know, we need them.
Yeah.
We won't be anywhere with them.
I'm telling you, that's what's been like so amazing is that you guys are what we know that you guys all have busy schedules and things, but to make the time for the fandom, it's just nothing short of amazing. So
yeah, of course, there's no problem.
Keep doing your thing, man. Keep doing your thing. You guys are crushing.
I try.
Nick Paulo asked, how does it feel to be back with your binary brother?
Rewarding. It's definitely very rewarding because we were kind of losing our binary brothership towards the end of season 1, and then by season 2 it just really went downhill. You know, he kind of tried to beat me up in a mall, whatever, stuff like that. And especially in season 3 when he broke my arm. But it's, yeah, I know. It's good to have him back. Obviously, it's not just going to be like all peachy. You know, there's still going to be a lot of stuff we kind of have to work out because
some water under the bridge. You guys got to kind of work through, right? Yeah, that's like any friendship, right?
Yeah, kind of burned a few bridges, kind of got to reconstruct those. But yeah, no, we just kind of got to reconnect a little bit, and I'm hoping to see more of that in season 4 along the line.
All right, cool, man. I have this one, and it's more of like a comment.
Okay.
And it's from Kyle Lauren. He just says, did you have a precise method with using the word a-hole in your speech? I guess your speech where you're like, he admired the way that you said it. And he said it better than anyone. And I'm curious if there are seminars of sorts.
I don't know whether to be like thankful or concerned for that comment. Thank you. I mean, I'm Dimitri. He's kind of used to just kind of saying the occasional profanity, stuff like that. You know, he got his nose broken and he runs out saying, oh, shit. Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. It was just kind of like Dimitri's just at his wits end. He does not have the vocabulary anymore. He's just going for like the basic words, and it works. It got their attention. He's like, you know, I'm sorry for my grandiloquence.
Well, I think that moment too is like a defining moment for a couple of reasons. One, it snaps everybody back together, right, to focus on what they're gonna have to do. But it's also like I don't want to say a coming of age moment, but it kind of felt like that, where it's like enough, and that person like takes control of the situation, and that's what Dimitri did, you know. And so I thought it was actually really cool.
Thanks. Yeah, I like to think that like Dimitri is sometimes the conscience of the group. You know, he's like, okay, well, maybe we shouldn't be beating each other up all the time.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Yeah. No, we can do that too. But yeah, he's just kind of like, guys, we literally need to be on the same team here. Otherwise, we're kind of screwed, and we'd be assholes not to do it.
Yeah, exactly. So, he's like the voice of reason, but when no one's listening, he's like, oh, well, all right, I tried, right? I tried, so.
He's the voice of reason, and when he's not, he's like, okay, fine, we'll just beat each other up.
Yeah, let's just beat him up. Screw it.
Let's go.
Oh, man, that's so awesome. So I have one more kind of thing that I wanted to talk about, and it's like the final scene.
Okay.
The final scene where you have Daniel and Johnny, and you kind of have joined forces with the dojos. Can you walk me through what that day was like for you guys?
That was like one of the last scenes that we'd filmed. So honestly, it felt kind of like a wrap up in itself. Like it was a wrap up in the season, but it was also kind of a wrap up in real life, because we were like done. We had been there for 3 months. Everyone's like, whew, okay, we did it. But it's just a very rewarding scene to kind of get to do, because this whole time, Johnny and Daniel, they've been against each other. Hawk and Dimitri, they've been against each other. And to now kind of get to reconnect and reunite, it's kind of awesome. Like, obviously, like I said, there's still got to be some stuff done between Dimitri and Hawk, and now there has to be some stuff done between Daniel and Johnny. Like, their karate styles are very, very different. And so them teaching a dojo together, they're going to have to work some things out. But yeah, no, it's really exciting, and it kind of opens a lot up to the future.
Yeah. I will say when that scene, and I could probably tell you everybody in the fandom, one, they had like a Phil Collins song in the background, right? And you're like, what is going on? It's a very powerful song. And then you see, you know, Hawk walk in, you start to see the character, and you're like, what is going on here? But the moment that Johnny and and Daniel bow to each other. Oh my God, man. I almost started bawling because, like you said, there's all of this history between these as rivals. And you kind of see it in season 3 as well, where you're like, all right, they're getting along. And then 10 minutes later, they hate each other again. You're like,
They're
what?
like bobbing their heads immediately. But no, it doesn't last long.
Oh, man. So, but to see that moment to come together for like the greater good, I personally was not expecting that. So when I saw that, it was just such a powerful moment. And so you guys
30 years of rivalry just to like kind of come together and create one cohesive dojo, and they just bow together, and it's like, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's kind of where the show's been wanting to go for so long. You know, you can tell that they would be good friends under like other circumstances if they hadn't already hated each other.
Exactly.
So
their banter between each other is like gold, man. I feel the same way. Like these guys would be like the best of friends if Jack didn't kick them off down a hill, 30 some years ago. they would be like really cool friends. You guys did an amazing job with season 3. It lived up to one of the few things I could think of that actually really went beyond the hype. And I remember seeing maybe it was John's tweet a couple of weeks ago, just before the release, about like, this is going to be something big. This is going to be something that's going to live up to it. And man, you were dead on. Oh my God was like an understatement. So
I'm glad you like it. Yeah, no, that was honestly the best way I could describe this season, was just like, without giving anything away, just like, oh my God, it's kind of crazy.
I got to share something with you, and maybe you read this too as you were reading the script, but each episode was so jam-packed with stuff, and it almost felt like, to me, like I was watching like 3 different movies back to back to back, from going to Okinawa to your guys' storyline to Sam's storyline. It was just like, it was just this wild ride. Did you ever wonder when you're reading it, like, how are they going to fit all of this into 10 episodes?
Well, yeah. So it was crazy because like this is in this season, nobody was necessarily like featured a lot, like because we just have so many different plots and storylines going on at one time. It's just a lot of give and take of like, okay, you're going on, okay, now I'm going on, because we all have like our own subplots that we kind of have to work through. And they honestly, I don't know how, but they make it one cohesive story, and it's, that's what you can hope for in a story.
Yeah, it was like each episode, man. I'm like, because we kind of knew some things were gonna happen. You're like, when is Chosen gonna show up? When is Ali gonna show up? And then like an episode would drop and just boom, all the stuff would come out. You're like, whoa. And man, however I don't even know how they jammed all these storylines in together, but all of you guys did an amazing part in it and played a huge role in it. So I just want to tell you, on behalf of all the fandom, man, congratulations. This has been a rocket ship for Cobra Kai, and it's just amazing. I'm like lost for words.
No, you're good. Thank you so much. Yeah, no, it was just like, it's amazing to get to see that people love what we do so much. That's all we can kind of hope for, because we want to please the audience, please the fans.
I think there's something magical about what you guys are doing, and maybe it's because I hear a lot about like how on set everyone is so amazing and willing to work with each other, and like I've heard all of these stories, right? And I've even seen it on interviews, and I think there's something that's to be said about that we can see that on screen. We can see the chemistries on screen. We can see it's just really, in my opinion, because of that, we can see it. We can see that you guys are enjoying what you're doing. You guys are into it. You guys connect with each other. Just amazing.
Thank you so much. Yeah, no, it's awesome getting to work with people that, are your friends and kind of your family. Because, we would hang out a lot during season 2 and 3. I've told this story so many times already, but like we would like play Magic the Gathering, and they'd kick my ass all the time, but it was awesome. It was awesome. A lot of fun.
That's awesome, man. Is there anything that you'd want to share just about season 3, or anything maybe I missed, like anything else that you'd want to talk about for season 3?
Just that I guess the floor that I was on when I got my arm broken was dirty, and and I almost blew my throat out doing that.
Oh my
But
God.
that's the life of an actor.
Did it smell like a dirty gym mat? Because I've smelled those too when I was in high school.
It was an actual like laser tag place. So just imagine people's dirty shoes running around there all day, and then my face on the floor. So
You're like, did anyone clean it? It doesn't smell clean, guys. They're like, you're good.
You're a method actor. Just it's
Use it, embrace it,
Yeah.
use it, right?
Okay.
Oh man. All right. Well, Gianni, I just want to tell you, thank you so much, man, for making the time to come on to another episode of Behind the Lens. And you are always welcome. Welcome back at any time. Cannot wait to see what comes next, whether it's future projects, season 4, all that. I cannot wait to see what you have coming down the pipeline. I can't wait for you to see
season 4. I don't know anything yet. And even if I did, I couldn't say anything, but trust me, it's just going to be amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just kind of, obviously I can't do as much right now because of COVID, but future projects, I'm hoping to do maybe some voiceover stuff, some stuff like that. So we'll just have to see along the way what happens.
Yeah. And guys, make sure to follow Gianni's social media. All that stuff's in the links. Get in there, show him some love, tell him how much you appreciate him. Tell him what your favorite scene was too, because I think that would be cool. And yeah, just jump in there and say hi. And then once again, man, thank you so much. Appreciate you making time. And thanks for joining us for another episode here on Behind the Lens.
Thank you for having me.